The previous video introduced the Bible Word Study Guide and explored how it can provide a useful insight into a particular word. In this video, we're going to look at how individual resources can be customized to display information in a range of different ways. To access the resource filters for a resource, click the Visual Filters icon and open the Resource section. We're only going to look at some of these in this video. Later, take a few minutes to review the other sections available. Addressee labels display icons in the text to show who is being spoken to. Closing the visual filter menu by clicking outside of it and going back into the text, we see that the people to whom Jesus was speaking are identified as the crowd at the Feast of Booths. Clicking the icon opens the associated factbook entry, providing easy access to more in-depth information. Similarly, the speaker labels show who is speaking on any particular occasion, in this case, Jesus. In this case, it's fairly clear from the text, but sometimes having these icons are a great reminder of who is actually speaking or listening. So, for example, in verse 45, there are two speaker icons, giving us a visual indication that two people, or groups, are speaking. In this case, both the Pharisees and the chief priest. Going back up to verse 37 and enabling the corresponding words filter makes it easy to see where words are repeated. Click believes in verse 38 to show the same word repeated in verse 39. This can be a very useful indicator. You can set this to match on lemmas, the same word which matches the inflected form of the original language word, or the same surface text which matches the word used in translation. If you change this to just match on the same word, it removes the highlight from verse 39. Opening the inline interlinear enables us to easily see that the underlying word is different, even though they share the same lemma. In general, I find leaving it to match on lemma works best, and changing the setting so it displays on hover as opposed to click results in matching words being highlighted as you move your cursor over the text. Personally, I prefer to set it to click, but it depends on what works best for you. These filters also work across resources with the corresponding selection filter. Selecting drink in verse 37 causes the corresponding word to be highlighted in the original language text. Similarly, selecting a Greek word highlights the equivalent English term. If you right-click the word rivers in verse 38 and ensure the lemma is selected on the right, you can then open corresponding lexicon entries from the list on the left. Note the couple of places where John 7:38 is highlighted. This makes use of the Emphasize Active References filter and is a great visual indicator of where the article is specifically relevant to the word in the verse you are studying. The Propositional Outlines filter changes the layout of the text to give an indication of its structure. In verse 38, for example, the topic at the beginning of the verse introduces a class of people, while the linked segment C describes what will happen to that class of people by utilizing a scriptural quotation. Sometimes the indentation provided gives a clear visual indication of which are the key points and which are support information. Take some time to experiment with the other resource options to see what they do and what information they expose. This video has shown some of the different ways in which resources can be configured to show a lot of useful, supporting information in a visually accessible way. The next video in this series will build on this to see how these features can be used to support searching resources in Logos, and we'll also look at additional advanced searching techniques.